Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the custom session of the Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference. Together with our industry and solution partners, we will share trends and insights as well as business challenges in the customs industry. We will also take a closer look at how we can leverage digital technologies to shape the future of smart customs. To start us off, may I invite Mr. York Yue-kun, President of the Global Government Business Unit of Huawei's EBG, to deliver his opening speech.
Hi, I'm York Yue-kun, President of Global Government Business Unit of Huawei EBG. Welcome to the Digital Customs session. On behalf of Huawei, I thank you for your support and participation. The pandemic has impacted our lives, leading to the economic losses. Customs are also affected. Inspection and tax collection is not easy. Despite this, the authorities have done well. Let's take this opportunity to thank them for the good work. Huawei is the leading technology provider of ICT infrastructure and smart devices. We ship many products daily to more than 170 countries. We actively discuss customs issues with partners. Therefore, we understand the challenges of the import and export trade. ICT investment has not kept the pace with trade growth. Many countries are slow to use technology, so data and information sharing is difficult. Processes are manual and paper-based, not user-friendly. People, not technology is used for inspection. Hence, clearance efficiency is low. Costs are also high too. To overcome this, customs services need a digital upgrade. Huawei is keen to support customers in your digital transformation journey. There are many opportunities with cloud computing, big data, and artificial intelligence. Solutions can be designed for different scenarios. We have implemented some with our partners. You will hear more about them later. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentations. Together, we can play a big part to make trade secret and convenient. We can make the smart customs come true. Thank you again, and have a good day ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Yue. Deloitte has been working on a global customs industry white paper over the past few months, specifically looking at evolving trends and how new technologies are likely to impact future operations. We are delighted to have with us today Mr. Zhou Yi, National Leader and Customs and Global Trade Northern China Indirect Tax Leader at Deloitte, to launch the white paper and share with us key findings from it. Mr. Zhou, please.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zhou Yi, and I'm a tax partner of Deloitte China, specialized in customs and global trade services. It's my honor to share with you the topic of digital transformation of customs administration today. What we are discussing today is mainly about the digital transformation of customs administration. We will discuss the new technology or digital solutions that may be used by customs, and how these digital solutions may impact or transform the customs administration, as well as our global trade business in the near future. We will discuss the challenges or issues that the customer may be facing in their digital transformation and our recommendation to accelerate the process if applicable. The COVID-19 is changing the world and our lives. We are entering into a digital wave, and the COVID-19 accelerated the process in some way. The COVID-19 crisis has shown that customs need to make efforts in a few areas, such as safety and risk management, trade facilitation, coordinated border management, and the coordination of the e-commerce and the capacity building. In the meantime, customs has to rethink and adapt the way they operate, their role in supporting the business, their organization, the management approach, and the process. An effective solution for the above is digital transformation. It's what we discussed today. As announced by the World Customs Organization in January, the global customs community is invited to implement a thing called Customs Bolstering Recovery, Renewal, and Resilience for a Sustainable Supply Chain. WCO has specifically emphasized that it is important for the digital transformation of customs for the recovery, renewal, and the resilience, especially in the field of the normalization of the pandemic and the digitalization of the economy. Many customs around the world have been considering or implementing the digital transformation, and some customs we noted that they already started the process. As you can see from the map, which we have highlighted some countries that they have been exploring or implementing the digital process. These are not just developed countries, but also some developing countries. Although these countries may not have the same focus and they could have different approaches. Now let's take a look at the key development trends of digitalization with customs administration. In this section, we will discuss some key development trends in customs digitalization areas, including both new concepts and new technology. The new concept or technologies we discussed here may not be new for all industries, or for some customs in the developed countries. But for other customs, they have not started or still in the pilot or early stage of the digital transformation. The first development trend is the digitalization of customs ecosystem. The resilience requires customers to reconsider their role in the customs administration. In this regard, customs has to consider the provision of services to business and the close cooperation with the relevant business stakeholders, such as importer and exporter, the freight forwarder, the port, and the other government authorities that are involved in the global trade and the supply chain. In other words, the role of customs in the modern customs administration concept is not just about supervision and compliance, but also about operate and the services. The new technologies such as blockchain, big data, and 5G will help customs to develop an ecosystem around customs. This customs ecosystem will allow for an easy interactions and coordination, sharing and certification of information among different entities or organizations, and can enhance the resilience and the sustainable supply chain accordingly. Embracing digital transformation and other advanced technology shall enable renewal rather than revert back to the way things were before. In this regard, the digital transformation shall equip the officials with sufficient and tailor-made capabilities in their daily works. This will include fully digital and paperless clearance of goods and persons, the single window, the use of technology in implementing effective controls and facilitating customs process. Customs administration needs to look at the way goods are cleared at the port from a fresh perspective. Customs capabilities should shift from function orientation to service orientation. There are many new technologies may be leveraged by customs, such as non-intrusive inspection devices, blockchain, artificial intelligence, sensors, and connected objectives. So these technologies can help collecting, combining, sharing, and analyzing data, which we will discuss in more details in the next section. It's important to note that the digital solution and the technologies include both software and hardware. And the integration solution of the software and hardware is important for successful implementation. A good lesson and experience from those customs that had implemented the digital transformation is the importance of a well-considered and integrated architecture. For the digital transformation, you may find that customs has to deal with a lot of challenges. These challenges include uniform law enforcement across the country or different ports, establishing standards for trade and regulatory data, sharing information across different functions, divisions, or with other entities or organizations, adaptation of emerging technology to customer needs, and data security and protection of privacy. If it is lack of well-thought and integrated architecture, there is a high chance and risk that the digital transformation may turn out to have many different systems conflict with each other, and there could be all kinds of data that do not follow the same standards, which is very difficult to handle. It could result in difficulties for the exchange of information, analysis, and the process of the data. So over a period, you may find it inefficiency, you may find errors, and end up like duplicate investment, but without good results. An integrated architecture that has been well planned may substantially reduce the troubles. When considering the architecture, it's important to consider the following factors. The first thing is allocation of the authorities and the responsibilities between the customs headquarters and the local port customs. Coordination between customs and other government departments. Also, unify customs law enforcement and the supervision mechanisms. It has to consider the overall organization, the business process, the integration of systems, and the data standards. Customs in many countries have been facing the challenges of resources shortage, while at the same time, the increasing complexity of the business environment, the new business model, and new products, and there are more complications for the border security and the risk control due to the terrorism or pandemic. So customs has always exploring whether and how customs can predict the potential risks, issues, and requirements for actions in an efficient and effective way. The AI and the big data technology provides an effective way to address these needs. So for example, you may find using the machine learning to automatically process and extract the data value. You may using the AI to handle the complex business intelligently and predict the results. For example, you may using the AI for the classification. And nowadays, you can see a lot of facial recognitions has been widely used in the world for the border controls. These technologies are combined with the machine learning for risk analysis and the prediction, which is something we will see more in the future. A digital twin is a virtual replica of a physical product, process, or system. It acts like a bridge between the physical and the digital worlds by using sensors to collect real-time data about a physical item. This data is then used to create a digital duplicate of the items, allowing it to be understood, analyzed, manipulated, or optimized. Digital twin integrates IoT, AI, and machine learning, as well as the 5G technologies to bring data and the context together, enabling organizations to test new ideas, uncover problems before they happen, get new answers to new questions, and monitor items remotely. It can be used to improve the business process. So how can we apply this in the customs administration? Let me give you an example of how and where the digital twins can be used. By digitally cloning a free trade zone or seaport, custom officials at different levels can get powerful real-time insight into the bounded goods and workflows. So customers use sensors to monitor the bounded goods and coordinate vehicles, containers, cranes, and staffs. So this offers a better way to analyze the administration process, such as the on-site inspection, quarantine process. The digital replicas can be used to predict and prevent emergencies, and it will alert the right person, right official at the right time when immediate actions is needed. As a result, inspection waiting times can be reduced and the goods flow can be improved. Customer can decrease the operational cost and enhance the experience for the business. Data reborn. Data is the materials for the digital process. The import and export operation and the supply chain has accumulated huge data, both structured and non-structured. These data are of tremendous value but are not fully utilized. Customers may find it difficult to utilize them due to the quality of the data. Data reborn means customs will find a way and build an effective mechanism to dig the values from all this data and facilitates its management and services. Customer has to deal with the data architecture to make sure that the data architecture can support the big data analysis of custom business, provide both high-level and detailed-level information as needed. And this should enable the sharing across systems while ensuring the standardization, consistency, accuracy, completeness, and the safety at the same time. The cloud solution will provide the best foundation for the transformation from customs-oriented application to the customs ecosystems as we discussed above. With the features of cloud, customers may leverage the cloud to provide flexible and remote support to the business. And while at the same time, they can exercise the necessary controls. It provides the stakeholders in the ecosystem to connect and get useful information and support from the cloud. In this way, customs can provide the services to the members effectively. For example, customs may utilize the cloud to easily access and monitor the remote site operation with a real-time video, which could be easy for both customs officials and the business. Internet of Everything. Internet of Everything is the integration of people, process, data, and things into a network connections. Internet of Everything is basically Internet of Things combined with data from humans, business process, and the data structures. The Internet of Everything in the customs administration means connections with customs, business, individuals, officials, and other authorities. Connections with the vehicles and the cameras and the non-intrusive inspection equipment and all these kind of equipments. The connection is not just a physical connection, but a smart connection through 5G, IoT, and using aging computation. The IoE may be considered in the smart gate, the electronic fence, which you can already be found in some countries. Based on our experiences, there are some key challenges for customs digital transformation, and these challenges are: the first thing, the development of a strategy and the priorities when facing too many issues, tasks, or options. You will also find challenges for the reform of policy, organizations, and the process, because this is always associated with the digital transformation. And actually, the digital transformation is an effective way to push and facilitate the reforms. You may also find challenges about the capabilities of digital planning and the implementation because the lack of experience in this area. Other challenges may also include the understanding and the effective application of the new technology, the utilization and the integration of the existing data and the systems to the new one. And we may also find challenges in the combination of digital technology and the business application scenarios. So you cannot really isolate the digital technology from the business. Cost and funding issues are also some key challenges, especially for some developing countries. If we have so many challenges, how can we deal with that? So we have some recommendations. The first thing is we got to have a top-down strategy, as the transformation may involve the policy, process, and organization. We got to plan carefully before the implementation and also be well prepared for the changes. In this regard, a top-level design and architectural thinking is very important to ensure a successful implementation. There are many lessons that customs in some countries had already experienced. So leveraging the experiences and the capabilities of external resources are very helpful. There are always a lot of priorities and there are always cost considerations. So it's important to prioritize the needs. In practice, there is no need to go for the best immediately. Actually, countries that are short of resources or short of funding may consider a step-by-step approach. They may start from the most important and urgent needs. But it's important to know that if you go through a step-by-step approach, it's very important you have to structure this under overall architecture and the overall plan. To conclude our discussion, digital transformation requires a systematic planning and approach. We have mapped out here some key elements that need to consider for the digital transformation, such as the transformation strategy, the digital architecture, business architecture, and the implementation roadmap. With all this into consideration, we believe that there should be a more smooth and successful transformation. Thank you for joining this section today. If you have any questions or would like to discuss this topic further, please feel free to contact me. On the other hand, We have worked together with experts from Huawei and prepared a research paper about the digital transformation of customs administration, which will be released today. You can find the report via the link shown on the screen. Thank you and have a nice day.
In the post-pandemic era, where cross-border trade is expected to gain even more momentum, customs will need to be digitally transformed. Leveraging its technological advantages in cloud, big data, and AI, Huawei will be launching the Smart Customs solution globally today.
What comes to your mind when you think about customs? Do you envision a window to the world? That's the way it is and has been since the year 136 CE, when the first tariff system was established in Palmyra, Syria. Fast forward to the globalized world today, and customs has become a vital source of government revenue worldwide, while taking on even more roles and responsibilities. However, more than half of the world's nations have an aging customs system, and over 60% are plagued with low clearance efficiency. Meanwhile, pressing issues such as smuggling and unconnected networks need to be addressed, presenting us with unprecedented challenges, but also opportunities. With this in mind, Huawei is imagining the endless possibilities and exploring how innovative ICT technologies, such as AI and cloud, can digitally transform the customs industry. For with technology, the window to the world will swing open.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Augustine, and thank you for joining me today. Over the next 15 minutes or so, I will share with you how digital technologies is shaping the future of smart customs. According to the World Customs Organization, the mission of customs is to ensure effective trade facilitation and accurate revenue collection. While this may sound easy and straightforward, it is actually very difficult to get right. In fact, the authorities face many challenges. The key ones include offense detection, clearance efficiency, and data sharing. Smuggling and concealment are by nature difficult to detect, given the massive volume of goods being moved at speed. It is also impractical and impossible to complete 100% checks all the time. This is further compounded by a heavy reliance on humans rather than technology during inspection. Clearance efficiency is also generally not ideal. It is a complex, multi-stakeholder environment with many policies to comply with. Many processes such as document submission, declaration, payment, they're all manual and time-consuming. Duplicated declarations are therefore very common, especially among enterprises with different employees involved, adding to the high loads. Finally, timely information and data sharing, which is very helpful in supporting risk assessments, is difficult too. ICT investments have generally not kept pace with trade growth. As such, documents are seldom stored digitally. IT systems, when available, tend to be unconnected and in silos, supported by old networks with communication gaps. In addition, the global trade environment continues to evolve rapidly. On top of the current responsibilities of inspection supervision, duty collection, smuggling detection, and trade facilitation, authorities are likely to have to take on additional roles. We are seeing a huge boom in the e-commerce industry, with the number of cross-border activities and parcels multiplying rapidly, resulting in increased pressure on logistics management. In support of this, changes can be expected in the business environment at the ports and at the trade zones, and this will impact enforcement. Customs authorities may therefore need to change the way they operate to achieve a good balance between facilitating convenient and efficient clearance while maintaining what is known as adequate supervision for robust supply chain and logistics security. Additionally, the pandemic, which has impacted many of us, has also left a huge mark on the world. In the new norm, there is likely to be sustained emphasis on food and goods security, additional or new inspection and quarantine policies, which will serve as the first line of defense against potential virus importation, is likely to become a new responsibility for customs authorities globally. In fact, the China Customs has already implemented this new approach. Beyond challenges and new responsibilities, more and more IT-based customs services are also being introduced. These diverse systems with different data types and service attributes are likely to have different network requirements, yet we need to connect them together to ensure alignment to achieve operational efficiency. With all this in mind, Huawei has put together a holistic smart customs solution with our partners to make secure and convenient trade a reality. It addresses different scenarios, leveraging technologies in network connectivity, high-power computing, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and multimedia communications to realize what we call an integrated all-scenario framework to support and manage people, goods, vehicles, and data. I'm proud and I'm happy to share that these areas are also where Huawei has been investing our research and development on. Key modular systems in the solution include the 360-degree end-to-end logistics management system for secure movement and management of vehicle and goods, the integrated online service platform for easy and convenient document submission and declaration, and finally, as well, the Converged Command Center for real-time supervision and collaborative command control. Let's take a closer look at these systems. To ensure secure goods movement, the entire logistics process should be taken into consideration, from cargo arrival to transit, inspection, warehousing, and even delivery. Applying a combination of GPS tracking and electronic door locks, containers of goods can be proactively monitored during in-transit from a designated area with the entire process recorded. Any deviation from the planned route or unauthorized door opening will trigger alarms. By integrating risk management, the inspection system will automatically determine how goods should be inspected on arrival. Low-risk goods are automatically released for entry, while high-risk ones, the ones you really want to focus on, will be directed for manual inspection. At the intelligent checkpoint, the container registration number, the front, the rear license plate numbers, as well as an image of the driver are automatically captured by cameras. This information is then processed on the Huawei Cloud Video platform with smart algorithms enabled so that verification of the data could be conducted. On confirmation that everything is in order, everything is fine, it's okay, the barriers are then automatically raised to allow the vehicle to pass through. Applying the 360-degree end-to-end logistics management system, the entire process is fully automated and, more importantly, controllable by the authorities, enabling secure goods movement, strengthening inspection supervision and operations efficiency, releasing scarce resources to be deployed to other high-priority areas. To achieve greater convenience, we have also leveraged the electronic data interchange EDI standard interface to connect related sectors such as transportation and banking to establish an integrated online service platform for customs. It provides one-stop services, one-stop on declaration, payment, and release for enterprises and individuals, eliminating the need to engage multiple agencies and access different systems. This not only reduces complexity, it enhances the overall user experience. It also increases declaration efficiency, shortens clearance time, improving the trade facilitation greatly. Integrating GIS mapping, video surveillance, big data risk management, and broadband communications, the Converged Command Center, which is a very core system, has full situation awareness with enhanced decision making. This means that service data and information are displayed clearly on the dashboard, giving management, sometimes management pops in to take a look. You can give management a quick and accurate overview on what's happening. Through the integrated communications platform, we have brought together voice services, video images, and data information. They're all connected via a broadband network. This information is then made available to the command center to coordinate and supervise planned or emergency operations while maintaining a strong oversight over resource deployments. Basically, you know where the officers are. Besides proactive monitoring of high priority activities and unattended areas, recordings from the fixed cameras can also be recorded to support post-event viewing, investigation, and of course, audits. More importantly, the entire inspection process of containers and goods, the ones that you really want to check, the risky ones, can be recorded through mobile terminals on demand, along with real-time transmission to the command center, enabling instructions to be issued on the go, as audio and visual information on these terminals can be invoked to quickly extract and identify information as well as to report results. An end-to-end paperless operation which can withstand scrutiny, withstand checks, is achieved. Finally, by linking networks together, information sharing can be extended to other sites, amplifying the capabilities further. So, in summary, the Huawei Smart Custom solution can be represented by 4 layers from a technical architecture perspective. Huawei's smart cameras and video terminals, together with partner devices such as electronic locks, barricades, inspection and quarantine equipment, form the intelligent interaction layer. Supporting this is the intelligent connection layer, leveraging Huawei's technological advantages in connectivity and computing, such as Wi-Fi 6, optical fiber, IoT, and Roma. On top of this sits the intelligent hub, where innovative technologies can be aggregated and integrated, delivering the capabilities that we need. These 3 layers together constitute the integrated digital base of cloud, network, edge, and device for customs. It is this that forms the fertile soil for application development, forming the basis from which Huawei teams up with our partners to develop the scenario-specific services and solutions which I have shared earlier on. This is an all-scenario framework to support and manage people, vehicle, goods, and data, bringing us closer to the vision of smart customs. Thank you. A key feature of smart customs is potentially high clearance efficiencies. How are Huawei's capabilities contributing to this? Let me invite Mr. Ma Hu, Huawei's Senior Solution Architect for the customs industry, to join us and share some of his ideas.
Hi, Augustine. Hi, everyone. I'm Mark, the architect of customer solution. Actually, our team supports lots of customers' projects around the world. In recent years, we found that although the smart customers clearance system is used, there is a huge difference in clearance time at ports. In China, for example, there are more than 300 ports using the same clearance system. At the Shenzhen port, it takes less than 10 seconds for a truck to pass through the customer's checkpoints. But at other ports, it takes hours. Globally, more than 90 countries are using AC quota. There is also huge difference in their clearance efficiency. There are many reasons for this, but there are two key factors. First, the intelligence level of the port system, because customers' supervision requirements need to be implemented by ports. If the intelligence level of ports is low and mainly depends on manual operators, it's difficult to execute the clearance or inspection instructions. Second, the centralized management capability of port systems. Many ports are far from our city, usually limited IT experts on site. If the centralized management capability is not provided, the system fault handling time at the port will be long, and the new system will go online slowly. To meet these requirements, Huawei launches an ICT solution for smart customers. First, we provide a one-stop solution for smart ports, including 3 parts. First, the intelligent terminals. We provide intelligent cameras and sensors, which works with the AI algorithm to recognize license plate, container coder, e-seal, and so on. Second, we provide the smart port applications, such as the smart gate system, security applications, and AI algorithms. Considering the limited device deployment environment and IT experts at the port, we provide easy-to-deploy, secure, and stable intelligent cube. The intelligent cube adopts the pre-integration and highly reliable design. One cube integrates smart port applications, server, storage, and network security devices. The equipment room and IT experts are not required for deployment. Usually, it will reduce deployment time by 60% and reduce costs by 30%. In order to support many ports, we designed a unified platform for centralized management of port systems. It meets the following management requirements. First, centralized service monitoring. Customers can check the KPIs such as the clearance time and statics imports, and it supports up to thousands of ports. Second, remote and centralized operation and maintenance. Customers can check the online status and resource usage of the systems at the ports in real time, and supports remote troubleshooting for ports. Finally, collaborative evolution with the development of customers. The smart applications and algorithms of ports need to be updated or replaced. The new applications and algorithms can be distributed very easily from the customer's center to ports for batch evolution. In addition, the platform can access the Huawei Cloud platform to obtain more powerful intelligence services. Okay, these are our thoughts on smart customs. Based on the successful practices, we will continue to provide leading smart solutions for customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ma, for your sharing. Another key concern is how customs domains can be connected and unified to enhance data and information sharing. Huawei certainly has rich experiences in this area. Let's hear from Mr. Shen Rui, Senior Engineer of the Government Solution Development Team within Huawei Enterprise Network.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Augustine. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shen Rui. You can call me Steve. Now, I will bring the Smart Customs Network Solution introduction. As you know that, the custom clearance efficiency and security requirements are improving, so upgrading the customs network is needed to build the foundation for digital transformation. Can you imagine that? In 2020, the structured data for the core service is more than 100 TB. The unstructured data, like the pictures and the video, is more than 4 PB in China. Customs requires the network coverage from the headquarters to campus, to the ports and border sites. The actual high bandwidth and health security requirements are required for services. And also, what the smart customs network should provide. Please look at the slides. 3 points. First is actual high broadband. The second is for the reliable transportation. The third thing is for the simplified operation and maintenance. So, next. Huawei views the scenario-based, intent-driven customs network solution. Provide 3 intelligent IP scenario solutions for data center, private network, and campus. First is the intelligent ultra broadband. For 10G 556 for campus, 10400G for private network, and 104G 400G for the cloud data center. Second, the intelligent connection. The network starts seeing brain experience on the private network level for customers declaration and terrorist service, lossless Ethernet, and zero packet loss on the data center network. The third port is intelligent operation and maintenance to provide AI knowledge graph, locating root causes of faults in minutes using the RFID technology, real-time visualization of the KPIs like the packet loss and latency. Okay, so next, let's talk about the details of the leading technologies. First, let's have a look at Huawei Wi-Fi 6. It builds high quality and all wireless customs campus. The Wi-Fi 6 for wireless coverage in all customs campus scenarios, like the mobile check, the video conferencing, the logistic tracking, and for the video surveillance. If you look at the animation with the 16 transmit and 16 receive smart antennas, the signals will follow devices and optimize coverage directions at any time. So that's why Huawei Wi-Fi 6 can provide the image and video access more than 10 GB per second and provide the full wireless service coverage with no blind spots. And also can provide a full connection to the Internet of Things terminals. Okay, next, for the private network. The network slicing and multiplying network and means the security isolation of core customs service. The leading slicing technologies provide the 1,000 level slice quantity, Mbit per second level slicing, granularity, and fingerprint recognition of slice that avoid the complex planning. So the flex network slicing can provide the multi-plane customs private network for the devices, for the service like the single window, like the comprehensive customs files, like the logistic tracking, like the office automation. For the ports, for the enterprise, and for the ministries. So next one is for this data center. Many customers may ask, how about the data center? The technology like the lossless internet algorithm to realize the zero packet loss on data center. If you look at this animation, the 3D lossless algorithm provide the low latency and zero packet loss on the data center network. The 4D lossless display algorithm provide the zero packet loss on the 70 kilometers active storage network. For example, when Double 11, the 11th November shopping spree in China, with Huawei leading technology and the solution, the network supports fast customs declaration and optimal experience. The network latency reduced by 40%, and the storage LPS improved by 87%, and no important service interruption during the peak hours. So we also need to talk about the operation and maintenance topics, like the AI knowledge graph, to realize the network for self-healing, to improve the customs systems reliability. If you look at this animation, the solution, I must answer is support the data mining and the modeling, the AI training and inference, and also the online self-learning to provide the AI knowledge graph can support minute-level fault locating, and the risk identification rate is more than 90%. With these technologies, the I must answer solution can realize network status, real-time collection, and the time metering, and also the intelligent analytics to help our customer to reduce the loss and also the customer's complaints. Okay, I have introduced the leading technologies from Huawei Network Solution. Huawei provides this iEngine in campus, Cloud Engine on data center, Net Engine for private network, and HotStack Engine for the security, and also the iMust NCE for the operation and maintenance. That's why Huawei lead an intelligent IP network to provide this ultra broadband, the good connection and operation and maintenance to our customer, to bring the digital to customers for fully connected, intelligent customs. Okay, that's the introduction from me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shen, for sharing your thoughts with us. Huawei Smart Custom solution has since been implemented in some projects and generated positive results. For this, I would like to invite Mr. Sheldon Wang to enlighten us further.
Since the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement entered into force in 2017, trade facilitation has become increasingly important with more countries and regions. With global average execution rate of 60.7, countries are now rapidly developing trade facilitation policies to achieve further optimization, cutting necessary costs. For example, the Ethiopia government has launched an electronic platform to accelerate the custom procedures for importers and exporters. This initiative has improved trade logistic efficiency, cutting it down from 44 to 15 days. This will likely to be reduced further to only 3 days. Another good example is a cross-border paperless trade in Philippines, which has reduced associated trade cost by about 10%. As a multinational company serving over 170 countries, Huawei is keen to support custom authorities in their transformation journey towards modern and efficient operations. Having studied the industry extensively, we know that many authorities have not digitalized business processes yet, relying primarily on labor-intensive operations. We are confident that operational efficiency can be improved, particularly in the clearance rates, by leveraging new technologies to drive greater automation of business activities. This will then free up resources for other tasks, potentially strengthening inspection supervision and anti-smuggling capabilities. Hence, the team sat down and together with our partners to put together scenario-driven intelligence custom solutions which have since been deployed in Middle East and China. The one-stop single window system is an online service platform support that automatic and paperless customs clearance. This solution enhanced the overall user experience, make the document submission, declaration, and payment simple and easy, provide great convenience, eliminating the needs of engagement with multiple agencies. The Intelligent Gate solution is a fully automatic access control system that deployed at ports and free trade zones. Previously, it took about 3 to 5 minutes on average for a vehicle to pass through the checkpoint. After deploying the solution enabling self-service clearance, our customer is able to reduce the passing time to about 10 to 20 seconds per vehicle, significantly improved the clearance efficiency. Additionally, the driver experience is also enhanced as they doesn't need to step out the vehicle. We are happy and proud that our solution have brought benefits to our customers. Through our strong customs ecosystem, we are committed to partnering with industry partners to develop more solutions and help make cross-border trade even more secure and convenient.
Now let's welcome Mr. Chang Hyun Park, consultant of the Cupia Overseas Sales Team, to deliver his speech on a world-class business environment powered by intelligent customs supervision.
Greetings, my name is Chang Park from Cupia. I'm here today to share the story of world-class business environment powered by intelligent customs supervision, using the case study of Unipass, Korea's smart customs system and its effort to fuse innovative technologies. Let's start off by asking, what is smart customs? Let us imagine you are a private business person, or recently referred as global seller, newly entering into an e-commerce platform such as Alibaba or Amazon. After a long period of market research, you've managed to find a product which could be quite profitable if you were to import it and distribute it into the local market. You sign a contract and the seller soon shipped the product to your country. There's one last step before you make a fortune: the customs process. In most developed countries, first you would open your laptop, go to a customs website, register as a trader, fill in an import declaration form, and submit. Then 8 or 9 times out of 10, your declaration will be processed within a day. And just like that, your product arrived at your doorstep. This time, let's take you back a decade. You're again trying to sell the same product in an emerging market, but in year 2010. As you know, the international trade and shipping process remain almost unchanged. Wanna guess what makes the most difference? The customs process. Having to do complex paperwork, visiting the customs office, waiting in the long line. You get the idea. To eliminate such barrier, customs around the world began introducing the concept of smart customs. Smart customs is an effort made to improve efficiency, facilitate international trade, and to ultimately contribute to economic growth. In other words, they wanted a system which enables them to receive customs declarations electronically, manage the verification process systematically, trace the movement of the cargoes, and create statistics. This system is also known as Customs Management System. Although Customs Management System computerized many of the customs processes, it alone couldn't eliminate the bottleneck. This is because there are other players involved during the customs process. Let's take an example. Importing a pharmaceutical product requires an additional approval from the Food and Drug Administration. You may also need to visit ministries for licenses and permits, Port Authority for cargo handling, Central Bank for payment options, and so on. To make matters worse, agencies such as these did not have any means to prove genuineness of their documents other than good old stamps and signatures. Customs then began to acknowledge the importance of having a single entry point, a focal point of relevant information. By implementing what is called electronic single window, interconnecting traders with the government and other stakeholders. Players were now able to process their business within a same platform. It means there's no need to visit different offices, no need to submit documents containing similar information over several agencies. As the data is exchanged through the focal point, it allowed time and cost-efficient and transparent business process. Unipass is the brand name of smart customs system designed and developed by Korea Customs. It is a total customs solution which consists of both customs management system and electronic single window components, as well as cargo tracking, risk management including robust and interactive data analysis capability, and business intelligence. The excellence of the Unipass system has been recognized by international organizations such as World Bank, World Customs Organization, World Trade Organization, Davos Forum, and Inter-American Development Bank. In addition to the IT infrastructure industry, which it is already renowned for, Huawei is expanding its smart customs solution portfolio ranging from surveillance center, license plate recognition, cargo tracking, body-worn equipment, to big data. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges faced by the customs around the world in recent years. In the 21st century, one of the most popular topics of interest within the customs area is probably the term risk management. Starting from early 2000s, the international trade volume has skyrocketed. This signifies that much of the customs with moderate input volume were used to examine most of the cargo either by document verification or physical inspection were now all of a sudden couldn't keep up with increasing volume. A similar story for the number of international tourists. The number doubled over the time span of year 2003 to 2018. How about e-commerce, like Alibaba, Amazon, and Jumia? The figure more than quadrupled over a decade. So what do you do when you just don't have enough manpower to handle the inflow? You could recruit more employees to keep up, but in reality, in most cases, that's not always a viable option. Instead, you could come up with strategies to assess risk and allocate the available resources where the risk level is higher. So Customs began training analysts who are best at their jobs assessing the risk using given information. It seemed to work for a while. The analysts used their techniques and experiences to control illegal items. But soon they faced a similar type of problem. There was simply too much data for a human being to comprehend in a limited amount of time. In an effort to overcome such a dilemma, Korea Customs went on and looked for a breakthrough in innovative technologies. Let's take a look at the big data solution applied to the passenger clearance module of Unipass. Previously, before an airplane arrives, analysts would review the passenger's information such as their booking records to select high-risk passengers. If your checked-in baggage on a carousel is tagged for inspection, or if you feel like a customs officer is waiting for you at the exit gate, the chances are you had been selected by one of the analysts. The problem was, in case of Korea, considering there are more than 500 flights landing every day, you would probably have about half an hour at best to analyze one flight transporting 300 passengers. If you do the math, that means analyzing one passenger in every 6 seconds. Instead, the big data asks itself the following questions. How likely a couple of complete strangers get on the same plane more than once? Twice? Possible is not very likely, but it's possible. But if it happens 3 or 4 times, and they're not booked together, then we have a valid reason to suspect that the two are traveling together. So based on the high-risk passengers' profiles previously registered, immediately after receiving the flight information, big data visually highlight A, registered high-risk passengers, and B, other passengers who may be associated with. Analysts now can focus their attention on the target narrowed down by the big data. The big data solution significantly improved the accuracy and time efficiency of the risk analysis process. Korea Customs then went on to apply the similar mechanism to cargo manifest control. Nowadays, customs around the world have implemented or is in the process of implementing pre-arrival cargo manifest system. However, analyzing the manifest information alone to assess the risk level is not an easy task. The big data solution analyzes past custom data to identify high-risk cargo and provide a visual representation. Let's also talk about the machine learning technology. One of the difficulties for both traders and customs is to classify commodities in a precise manner. In this ever-changing world where new products are born every second, it is nice to have a helping hand. The AI solution of Unipass employed the machine learning method using text format data from past customs declarations. Such text format data includes description of commodity, brand, model, specification, and the actual HS code declared. So at the end of the day, what it actually does is when you enter a text describing a commodity, the AI solution will suggest 3 HS codes that are most probable, with its certainties measured in score. Korea Customs also applied the AI to X-ray devices. Again, using machine learning technology, the AI studied past X-ray images of detected cases. The AI solution outlines and suggests a part of an image that resembled past detected cases. This new feature allows even a less experienced analyst to perform at the level of a veteran analyst. CUPIA, short for Customs Unipass International Agency, is a non-profit organization established by Korea Customs. CUPIA is officially in charge of operation, maintenance, and customer service management of the Unipass system, as well as its customized implementation and consulting service for overseas customs administrations. CUPIA has implemented a tailor-made bespoke version of Unipass system to 9 countries over the world, and also provided consulting services to over 20 countries. Every year, Korea Customs selects 4 customs administrations around the world and provide a consulting service called Consultancy Project for Modernizing Customs Administration. The project includes the consulting reports with gap analysis and future model, as well as a workshop program to be held in Korea. As of late, we feel the trend is shifting in a way that customs wants to include emerging technologies such as cloud computing, big data, and AI within their new or existing smart customs system. Also, there is a tendency to order a system that goes beyond just customs domain. For example, an integrated revenue system encompassing both customs and internal revenue, or a single window system including port community system aspect. In order to proactively respond to such changes, CUPIA is seeking to establish cooperative partnerships with companies in possession of original technology, such as Huawei, as we explore business opportunities in years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Park. Next up, we have Mr. Lai Shiwu, Vice President of Max Vision Technology, to tell us more on how one-stop new smart clearance mode facilitates port modernization. Mr. Lai, please.
Hello, I'm the Vice President of Max Vision, Lai Shiwu. It's an honor to speak to you. The title of my presentation is One-Stop New Smart Clearance Mode Facilitates Port Modernization. Let me first introduce my company briefly. Max Vision was founded in 1997 and is the only company listed in China that focuses on the smart port field. We were the first one to propose the concept of smart ports and put it into practice. For more than 20 years, we have been dedicated to the innovation and R&D of smart port products and the construction of smart systems, applying AI technologies to all aspects of smart ports, from a passenger inspection to baggage inspection and vehicle inspection, and from harbors to land ports and airports. We have developed all sorts of solutions. We developed many innovative systems. For example, regarding passenger inspection, in 2005, we launched the first self-service passenger inspection passage in China. Regarding vehicle inspection, as early as in 1999, we launched a quick vehicle inspection and a release system, realizing self-service inspection. In 2004, the concept of a one-stop vehicle clearance system was proposed for the first time, which integrated the inspection and quarantine, customs and border inspection. Vehicles only had to stop once and receive one inspection. In 2018, when the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge was put into use, we launched joint inspection passages for Zhuhai and Macau. Besides the smart port solutions, we also provide intelligent transportation solutions. In both fields, we have extensive cooperation with Huawei. Back to the topic here. As we are talking about the new clearance mode, it is necessary to first understand the status and the new requirements. Let's look at the status of the port industry. I'm going to explain this from 4 aspects. First, international policies. As countries are becoming more open, and with the increase of economic cooperation, the flow of people and the volume of trade have surged. Second, traditional inspection methods heavily rely on manual work and individual experience. Different systems and departments are working in silos. Third, international situation. With the progress of science and technology, violations have become more and more covert. New means and methods are needed to achieve accurate inspection. Meanwhile, regulators are paying more attention to customs clearance experience. Strict supervision and optimal experience are both needed, which calls for a better solution. Fourth, worldwide pandemic. With SARS, then Ebola, and Zika, and the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 2 years. The world has entered a new normal of pandemic prevention and control. As a major link in pandemic prevention and control, ports need to adopt new modes. These new situations are driving changes in the port industry. Here, I summarized several driving factors. The first one is regional economic development, which increases the flow of people and goods, and thus increases the needs for new port and airport construction. The second factor is reconstruction and expansion of existing ports. These 2 factors have created incremental markets. The third factor is changes of inspection methods. As the science and the technologies evolve, products need to be upgraded, which has brought new opportunities in the port industry and created incremental markets. Fourth, the emergence of free trade zones and cross-border e-commerce in recent years have created great opportunities for the port industry. After analyzing these new situations, I summarized 3 urgent requirements. First, quick customs clearance. As there will be significant flows of people, goods, and vehicles, quick customs clearance is the most urgent requirement. There are 2 charts at the right side. Take China as an example. In 2019, the number of people entering and leaving the country reached 670 million, and the number of vehicles reached 36 million. These numbers may not be very tangible. Let me give you an example about the Gongbei port in Zhuhai. The number of people entering and leaving that port has reached 400,000 per day. It is a small port, but the number of exit and entry is about 400,000. So the greatest requirement must be quick customs clearance. Therefore, we have deployed a series of measures such as self-service customs clearance and seamless customs clearance. Second, efficient inspection. Being fast is not enough for regulators, who also require accurate inspection. All necessary items should be inspected. So besides ensuring quick customs clearance, we also need to adopt some technological methods to optimize the process and achieve one-stop and technology-enabled customs clearance. Third, health and pandemic prevention. Pandemic has become a normal. So ports need to take measures to cope with it, such as taking driver's temperature, health status declaration, spray sterilization, and verification of nucleic acid testing results. How did we address these requirements? We have explored and developed a series of products and solutions. Here, I will focus on the one-stop clearance solution. This diagram shows the traditional vehicle clearance process. From a port entrance to port exit, a vehicle passes through multiple checkpoints supervised by multiple departments, including immigration, customs, police, and many others. The driver needs to stop multiple times. Different departments and systems are working in silos. There is no synergy. Inspection is mainly conducted manually, so it relies on individual experience. It's up to individual officials for what to be checked and what not. In addition, the traditional mode lacks scientific means. For example, it is difficult to check the underside and the inside of a vehicle manually. Many covert violations are also very difficult to be found. These are some of the drawbacks of the traditional mode. Let's look at our one-stop clearance solution. This is a flow chart. From the entrance to the exit, vehicles only need to stop once. Seamless clearance is deployed at the two ends, which means vehicles do not need to stop. A vehicle will first receive spray sterilization and nuclear radiation detection and go through a recheck checkpoint before exiting. The vehicle only needs to stop once to be inspected. Vehicles will enter the check area only when necessary. The overall efficiency of the process has been optimized and changed. The departments that traditionally participate in inspection place all of their equipment at this one-stop checkpoint. At this checkpoint, all steps of inspection are performed, achieving sharing of sensing devices and data and a joint inspection. We summarized several features of our new solution. First, optimized process and one-time stopover. Drivers only need to stop once, so it is very efficient. Second, unattended operation. In the past, there are people sitting at each checkpoint. Now, the front-end checkpoint is unattended. There is no official. All officials are sitting in the room and perform a remote inspection. Third, data sharing. The sensing devices, data, images, and other information are shared among all departments. All of them can get information about the driver and the vehicle. On-site attendance is not required. Number 4, AI-based analysis. The equipment at this one-stop checkpoint enables vehicle underside scanning, pedestrian intrusion analysis, carriage scanning, and anti-tailing analysis. All of them are based on AI algorithms. These functions cannot be realized with the traditional technologies. AI algorithms have helped us enhance efficiency significantly. Number 5, pandemic prevention and control. For example, there is a spray sterilization at the entrance and a temperature check for drivers and a health code verification in the middle. Number 6, I think this is the most important one. It is improved experience. With this system, drivers only need to stop once. Inspection is conducted in a self-service manner, so drivers do not feel they are supervised. In addition, we deployed many intelligent devices in the driveway. For example, a self-service collection system that automatically adapts to the different heights of vehicles. The human-machine interface is very intuitive, and the process is simple. The system also supports voice command, which brings convenience for drivers. The clearance experience for drivers is very good. This solution is built on Huawei digital base, front-end sensing devices, transmission devices, and Huawei Cloud are deeply integrated to build a new mode of a one-stop customs clearance for vehicles. I summarized 4 features about this new mode. First, platform data sharing and less repeated construction. Second, unattended operation and a lower risk of contact. Third, process simplification, efficiency improvement, and improved user experience. Fourth, scientific inspection or technology-enabled inspection and less dependency on manual experience. Here are some photos of this case. At the top, it is a passenger car lane. At the bottom, a truck lane. This is the one-stop checkpoint. Drivers may sit to the left or to the right, as in some countries the driver's seat may be at the left side or at the right side, so we deploy the information collection equipment at both sides. This is the latter part of the one-stop checkpoint, which conducts an underside scanning and anti-tailing inspection. This is the driver's interface, which is very intuitive. The height of the interface is automatically adjusted according to the height of the vehicle. With this one-stop system, the staff only need to sit in the monitoring room rather than by the driveway. They can see the front-end situation and conduct data analysis. That is what I want to say about the one-stop customs clearance solution. In fact, we have conducted many more joint explorations with Huawei. For example, on passenger inspection, baggage inspection, and in-transit monitoring of containers. We worked on many cases jointly. Let's create new modes of customs clearance together to help modernize port management. Thank you.
Finally, we have Mr. Feng Tianfei, Chief Product R&D Officer at PowerBridge, to share how integrated port logistics and clearance can help achieve data-enabled intelligence for smart port construction. Mr. Feng, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's great to have this opportunity to share PowerBridge's integrated port logistics and clearance platform built on Huawei's digital foundation. Before I start, I'd like to briefly introduce our company. PowerBridge is an innovative, high-tech company with over 20 years of experience in the port field. Listed in NASDAQ in 2019, our company provides efficient and a collaborative platform and enabling services to facilitate industry informatization and intelligence. Innovation has played a key role for us to drive domestic and international development. Today, we provide professional products and solutions to governments, corporate customers, service providers, and ecosystem partners like a smart port, smart customs, and a smart campus. Over the past 20 years, PowerBridge has built a good reputation and a brand influence for its rich technical, market, business, and government resources. Today, more than 1,600 governments and enterprise customers have chosen to work with us. Next, I will introduce our integrated port logistics and clearance platform from 4 aspects: development history, application scenarios, the solution itself, and the benefits. First, the development history of port logistics. Over the years, the function and positioning of port logistics have changed significantly. It started from traditional loading and unloading, evolved to port-adjacent logistics that provided logistics services for port-adjacent industries, and developed into logistics hub for cross-border production and distribution. Enabled by information technologies, it could provide a trade and a supply chain platform services for upstream and downstream enterprises. Over the past several years, as emerging technologies get deeply intertwined with port logistics and multimodal transport becomes mature, it has grown into an integrated, collaborative platform for logistics and clearance based on data and digital technologies. The integrated collaborative platform built by Huawei and PowerBridge is about bringing Huawei's technologies like IoT, big data, cloud computing, and AI closely together with the core port business information to develop intelligent interaction, intelligent connectivity, intelligent hub, and intelligent applications, which then provide a range of services like data sharing, exchange and collaboration, port data operation, and collaborative data governance. The objective is to realize a seamless connectivity and collaboration between resources and participants like port operators, logistics service providers, and financial service providers, and ultimately form a digital, intelligent, and collaborative platform for modern port logistics and clearance. The platform applies to a wide range of locations. It can be used at seaports, like Shanghai Port and Ningbo Port, water transport at places like Chongqing Port, Wuhan Port, along the Yangtze River, as well as wharves. The platform can also be used at the railway ports and route gathering centers. Railway ports that we usually hear about, like Alashankou and Xi'an, as China-Europe Railway Express services become operational. Route gathering centers include notably Urumqi and Xi'an. The platform also applies to land ports and cross-border ports, like Huanggang Port in Shenzhen, Horgos Port in Xinjiang that borders Central Asia, as well as Youguan Port in Guangxi. There are also airports, like the Air transport centers in Beijing and Hong Kong, as well as inland dry ports. Take harbor and water transport as an example. The platform can provide services for sea transport space booking, inland barging, feeder transshipment, line haul transportation, etc. The platform provides services across 4 core modules. First, collaborative customs clearance. This is the most basic and crucial service module in cross-border trade. The platform builds on data collaboration and offers to enterprises integrated declaration for seamless data exchange and integration. Second, intelligent multimodal transport. The platform provides services like space booking, container booking, lifting, warehousing, gate management, transportation, distribution, barging, logistics, customs clearance, as well as multimodal transportation. Third, convenient services, where cross-border logistics, trade, and financial services are provided. Fourth, intelligent operations. This is the foundation and information source for integrated logistics and clearance. Adding intelligence to each operation is crucial for a digital port and its ability to provide data collaboration services. It's obvious that the services these core modules provide are based on data sharing and collaboration. That's why the overall architecture of the platform is based on a data sharing and exchange system. On one hand, port data assets are extracted and the data sharing services are enabled to realize the service connection and data collaboration. On the other, systems for customs clearance, cross-border logistics, and intelligent port facilities management are developed on top of the data collaboration services. These services provide core functions like a smart clearance, document certificate collaboration, smart logistics, intelligent field, and integrated warehousing, dispatching, and transport, offering one-stop integrated services to enterprises like a space and container booking, yard lifting, and many others mentioned earlier. In other words, it's a one-stop solution we provide with the integrated platform across all activities in cross-border trade. The benefits of the platform are primarily twofold. First, it puts in place a digital engine to reshape a port development through data collaboration and data services. Ports used to be routes for transit. With the digital engine, data collaboration is made possible, and ports can become a hub for various economic activities, where new business forms and models can be cultivated. Second, the platform brings value to enterprise customers, governments, joint port inspection units like a customs authority, and port operators like port groups. For enterprise customers, the platform can help lower cost and improve efficiency for logistics and customs clearance through integrated services, logistics visualization, and more efficient clearance operations. For governments, it can promote local economy and trade, improve business environment, and cultivate new business forms and models. For joint inspection units like port authorities, innovative data collaboration applications can allow for precise regulation to improve clearance efficiency. For port operators, data collaboration paves the way for intelligent management and precise services. So this is our integrated platform for port, logistics, and customs clearance. Thank you for your attention. Thanks to Huawei for providing us with the digital foundation and the technical support. Thank you.
With a deep understanding of the customs industry and sustained development in research and development, Huawei is able to apply our technological advantages in ICT to customs. Today, we are proud to be launching the Huawei Smart Customs Solution globally. This would not have been possible without the trust and the support from our industry partners, solution partners, and customers. Let's hold our breath and get ready for the launching ceremony.
Congratulations on the successful launch of the Huawei Smart Customs Solution. We look forward to partnering more customs authorities in their digital transformation journey. This is the end of the customs session of the Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference. Thank you for watching and have a good day ahead.